Oh boy, how are we, folks? Welcome. It's another episode of the Josh Potter Show, the second one here at the old Comedy Store. What a debut. What a fun time we had with Sarah Weinshank and Chase O'Donnell last week. They made some picks for week 2, gambling-wise. I've recorded the results. We'll see who the better... I'm going to ride with one of them, I'll tell you that right now. Cannot wait to let you know the results of that. In the meantime, though, the Roach off the road for a little bit. I'll be at Skankfest, of course, if you're heading out to Las Vegas for that at the end of the month. I will be there. And then I'm hoping come October, I'll have some more dates for you for the fall and winter. Remember, you can always go to thejoshpotter.com, my website, and sign up for the email list so you'll know when I'm coming to your neck of the woods. That's the only time I'll ever email you, or if I drop a piece of merch or something. So go there, sign up for that. And again, I'll let you know when and where I'm going to be coming via that website as well. So go get there and sign up. Other than that, folks, not much to promote. I would love for you to rate, review, subscribe the podcast on whatever it is that you listen on, or maybe you're watching on YouTube. Do please to be subscribing to the channel and tell your friends about it. Pass it along. We've been having a great deal of fun, and I hope that we get some more roaches scurrying out from under the fridge very soon. But other than that, solo-dolo today because I have some great guests lined up in the coming weeks. But as I mentioned toward the end of my tenure at the old apartment, this was always meant to be a solo show. The guests were just a happy coincidence, and I would get bored and I would want them, and it's fun to have once in a while. But I thought, might as well get used to doing a solo-dolo here in the Comedy Store. Get one out of the gate, the second one. So here we are. It's just me and Alex, and Lee is here too. And other people are milling about. The upstairs during Mondays are so vibrant because all the open micers come out from the woodwork and sign up for potluck. They get here nice and early, 4 o'clock. I mean, wild stuff here at the Comedy Store. Very exciting atmosphere. But what do you say we get right into the show? And we have so much sports to get to. Boy, oh boy, it's like, I mean, it is that time. We're getting to be to the point where we are going to start encountering sports equinoxes. And that's where all the 4 major American sports are playing at the same time. And I cannot wait. We've only had a few of them in our lives, but they're going to be coming up here in the autumn. And I have just started converting the old studio into basically a Buffalo Wild Wings at this point. I have... Right now, 2 TVs up. I want 2 more. TVs are the cheapest thing in the world. In a world where inflation is so enormous and immense, people can't buy eggs without mortgaging their home. TVs are a dime a dozen. It's kind of crazy how cheap TVs are. And I don't know why that is. Maybe that's China. I don't know. I have no idea what it could be or why. But TVs are just like a dime a dozen. For a flat screen, I'm putting them all up on my wall, and I want to get a little stream cave going. So even while we're still doing kind of plugs, I would love for you to go over to the Twitch and follow along there. Maybe give us a subscribe. I've been streaming all weekend long college football. I mean, I went into a world. I immersed myself. It was my first weekend off the road in like a month and a half, and I just went. I mean, I think I got home on Saturday night at about 3 a.m, and I turned on Twitch and just streamed the end of the season. And there was like, I don't know, 7 people with me on there, but it was like, I have to play the rest of the season. And I can't not do it on Twitch. Twitch keeps me accountable, you see, because if I was doing it just in the vacuum of my brain, I'd probably like quit and start over, you know, but Twitch makes you honest, you know? So I'm not, when I lost to Georgia in the college football playoffs, I have to move forward. I couldn't turn it off. I couldn't start over again. So go follow along there, and I hope I see you on there. But let's get into the sports, shall we? Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. And last week we had Chase and Sarah pick games based off of the quarterback pictures I provided for them. And the results are in. And one dominated the other, I will say. And I'm going to get actually Chase on the horn at some point in future weeks, even if she's not a guest here, because I need her to make picks. I might base it off wide receivers. I don't know. I mean, Chase is the winner. I guess I spoiled it. But when it came down to Thursday Night Football, Tua versus Josh Allen, they looked at that. Sarah picked Tua. And boy, did he get smoked. And not only that, his career might be over. I mean, poor Tua. This guy, see, if you don't know Tua, the problem is last year, Tua had many concussions. He had a concussion, and then the team was like, it was very varsity blues. It was like, we got to get him back out there. And they rushed his progress, and he went back out, had another concussion. And when Tua has a concussion, it's ugly. You know it. Even I'm not a doctor. I'm watching it on the television, for Christ's sake. And when I saw Tua have a concussion, you know it because he does this thing with his hands. The hands go up. It's bad. It makes me sick to my stomach, actually, when it happens. It goes up like this. That's Tua. I mean, Tua hands. I bet you type it in there. They come up.
Right.
Dude, I can't even look at it. Take it off the screen, please. It makes me sick. It's like watching someone have a seizure. It's crazy. Makes my it doesn't make me sick like I'm like, oh, I'm sick of that. I'm like, no, it makes me like physically ill because I feel for the man. That's no way for anybody to have to exist. And so Tua, after he had those two concussions, he came back again last year. And he played in the playoffs. The Buffalo Bills beat him. But this year, everything was supposed to be on the up and up for Tua. And here we are in week 2. And it wasn't even that bad of a hit that did him in. But I don't know if it was the inertia. Sometimes it's the, clacking around in the sometimes it's not even your head hitting something and making your brain hit the wall of your skull. It's the inertia of, you getting hit that makes your brain hit your skull, and that can make a concussion. The more you know. Looking at this is the camera I make points at. The more you know. I want to get that sound. Whatever that was. Remember that? The star? Okay, anyhow. Oh, yeah. So Tua lost. Sarah guessed Tua. No dice. Oh, by the way, you know who Tua has some decisions to make. I don't know for fact that his career is over. If I'm him, I probably am not going to play NFL football. I mean, how much money do you need to make? He could maybe be in broadcasting. I'm not sure what. I mean, Tua could be a coach. I have no idea. There's a future for Tua where his brain intact is beneficial. There is, maybe, and here's the thing. If I was in the same position as Tua Tagovailoa, I don't know that I would quit because I love comedy with all my heart, and it's what I've dedicated my life to, very much like this person dedicated football to. I have not reaped the rewards in the way that Tua has either, but I can sit here and honestly say if a doctor told me that I can't do comedy anymore for the benefit of my future, I would have been like, well, what kind of future is that anyway? I'm going to just do it until the wheels fall off, because this is what is living if not to do my life's passion. So I could understand Tua. I could actually, if Tua decides to stay, I would not bemoan him. I would be like, that's where his spirit, whatever the hell. But, people will. People will be like, this isn't smart. And, honestly, watching it on television and the millions and millions of people at home are just, it's like watching it's like, God, you don't want to see it. You know what I mean? It's tough. You got to look away. And the person, though, that did this, the hit on Tua, was Damar Hamlin, who, if you don't know, he was the Buffalo Bills player who died on the football field but 2 seasons ago. Now he starts for the Bills, which is a little concerning for me as a Buffalo Bills fan, but evidently he's good. He led the team in tackles against the Dolphins. The defense has been playing pretty great, as a matter of fact, considering I don't know half of them, and some of them are just like people from UB, like University of Buffalo, which is like banana land. But so that was the first pick. So that's Chase, 1 point there. I already told you she's the winner, but where else did she beat out Sarah? They both picked Jaden Daniels. That was a point for both of them. They both picked Aaron Rodgers over Will Levis. That a point for both of them. Now this is where it gets a little sticky. Jared Goff lost to Baker Mayfield. They both picked Jared Goff. That was the only one Chase got wrong. She picked Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions to beat out Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And quite honestly, I think a lot of people did just based off football. But turns out, there's a lot of dogs in football this past week. Then you have, this one was kind of a coin toss based on which team was going to show up. But Trevor Lawrence of the Jacksonville Jaguars versus Deshaun Watson of the Cleveland Browns, and Chase picked Deshaun Watson. Sarah picked Trevor Lawrence, and we know Deshaun Watson, though maybe not the reason they won that game, was on the winning team. And I think Jameis Winston ended up getting some playing time in that bad boy there, which we love Jameis. That's going to lead to sound bites galore, which makes everything wonderful here at the Josh Potter Show. So the more Jameis in the NFL, the more excited I am, quite frankly. The more Jameis Winston there is. He's the anti-Cecil Wilson, if you ask me. So perhaps we get Chase back in here and I have her picked based off like wide receivers next time, because they get pretty drippy, the wide receivers. That would be a fun. I thought about that after the fact. I was like, I should have did receivers. God damn. But that's just another episode that we can have, friends. Today's Josh Potter Show is brought to us by Home Chef. I often find myself as a person who just dreads the whole cooking thing, the whole thinking about what am I going to eat thing. I have just no time. And I get very like cringy and like I recoil almost at the decision making of having to eat something. It really bothers me. I hate going to the grocery store. All of that stuff gets answered with Home Chef. And I've been spending, usually I would get delivery stuff because you just go beep boop and then it's delivered to you. That starts adding up after a little while. And it also doesn't hit the spot. You know, I want something that tastes a little more higher quality than the typical fast food fare. So if you rather enjoy a home cooked meal without all the stress of planning ahead and having to get the groceries and, you know, prep your dishes or whatever the heck and end up cooking it, Home Chef makes it really easy and saves you money. They provide fresh ingredients and chef-designed recipes conveniently delivered to your doorstep to simplify your cooking experience, and Home Chef has over 30 options a week. That way you never get bored with it. I'm a big creature of habit, though. Sometimes I like the fact that they have 30 options a week because I can go with like the same option for a while, and then once I get sick of it, boom, I got a bunch more options over here, 29 more to be exact. And they serve a variety of dietary needs too, so you don't have to worry about what to make ahead of time, you know, if there's people with allergies or things like that. Not only is it convenient, but it's economical too, and Home Chef customers save an average of $86 per month on their groceries. And that's probably only going to get better as far as savings goes with the way groceries are going, my friend. For a limited time, Home Chef is offering my listeners 18 free meals plus free dessert for life. And of course, free shipping on your first box. So go to homechef.com/Potter. That's homechef.com/Potter for 18 free meals. And I can't believe I'm saying this. Free dessert for life. You heard that right. Free dessert for life. Homechef.com/Potter. Must be an active subscriber to receive free dessert. But elsewhere going on, I got to go to the Dodgers game. Thank you to my manager, Nate. Thank you for hooking me up and letting me get behind home plate for the Dodgers game. Oh boy, can you pull up my Instagram and show these bad boys off? I want to show everyone these seats. It's crazy that these seats are so wildly elite, and I don't really know all of the people who get to be a part of them. My manager isn't he works for a company that has the seats. It's just wild to me that like a dad can't take his kid and sit in these seats. You know what I'm saying? Like just like a guy, like a dad. Look at how close I am to Freddie Freeman. I could pick his butt. I could pull the dingleberries out of his ass. Freddie Freeman, American hero right there. Mookie Betts is right there. There's Shohei Ohtani. Now watch. Now people always go, Josh, can you even see baseball? Can you even see what's going on? That's like the majority of comments. I mean, I'm sure you can even read some up there. Now, the answer is yes, you stupid fuck. And watch me. I catch this one. Bam! I thought I got a home run here. It's back. It's going to the wall. It's back. Oh, Armstrong grabs it at the wall. Tough business. I thought I caught a Shohei Ohtani home run. That's like catching a shooting star. Vin Cully press box right there. That was fun. And there's Vin Scully. There's this stuff. Now, this is cool, right, for an announcer guy. There's the hanger. He probably had his jackets on, his kids decorated, or his grandkids or whatever. There's his headset. Oh, my Lord, all his little trinkets. It'd be sweet if it had, like, his dip spit cup. Or, like, his, he drank scotch out of this glass right here. That's a scotch glass. And there's the whole gang. Ryan O'Neal and Jessica Michelle Singleton were there as well. Very fun time at Dodger Stadium. And baseball getting ready to wrap up. It's getting ready for the playoffs coming up here come October. And one team that will not be making the playoffs is the Chicago White Sox. Now, if you're not following along, if you're unaware, the Chicago White Sox are perhaps the worst team in the history of baseball, which has a long history. We've discussed it on the show. Baseball's been around pretty much since before cars. I mean, like, it's insane how old baseball is. And this Chicago White Sox team might be one of the worst assembled teams in the history of the sport because their record is so atrocious. And Bill M. sent this in, joshpottershow@gmail.com. That's where you can send in all your stuff, friends. We got a whole bunch of Roach reporters sending things in. And by the way, Luke Rutz has been on a tear. I actually had to, like, limit Luke Rutz's articles this week. Because he sent me like 17 articles. I was like, they're all great. I got shows for the rest of the time over here. But Bill M. emailed this bad boy in, and White Sox announcer says what we're all thinking here on this bad boy.
There's a ball hit toward right field. Sheets coming in. Drops the ball! The Guardians will score first as Kwan comes home. Into second base is Owen Miller. And Sheets just simply botched it.
Now pause it for a second. I mean, I don't want to go because we're going to get Major League Baseball is such. Now, this is going to do me any favors, by the way, but Major League Baseball is a bunch of. And even playing that like a little bit of audio might might take money from me or something. They're the worst. They're the only sport that does that. The NHL, they encourage you to share stuff. The NFL doesn't even care. The biggest sport in the world that doesn't need any sort of advertising doesn't care. So Major League Baseball will be up my ass for that one. But he said, are you shitting me? I think, did the stars align? Now, I'm not trying to poke holes in it. Did the stars align where the man was saying, are you kidding me? The same time the other guy was saying Gavin Sheets dropped the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, because the guy's name is Sheets, the player. So maybe we can hear it one more time and I can get Alex and Lee perhaps to weigh in on if I'm mistaken or not.
There's a ball hit toward right field. Sheets coming in. Drops the ball! The Guardians will score first as Kwan comes home. Into second base is Owen Miller. And Sheets just simply botched it.
If you're dissecting it, he says Sheets the same time he says, are you kidding me, perhaps? And it's a Yorl Lanny situation like that sound where it's like, or what, remember that?
Yeah.
Where you hear what you want to hear?
Yeah, it does sound like the SH sound is coming from him, like, are you shitting me? Rather than the other guy who's like, are you like Gavin?
No, the other guy
Sheets
goes,
like,
Gavin Sheets, and it was right at the kidding me. So I'm just saying, I'm not trying to poke holes. But perhaps this is why we haven't heard more about this one. I mean, I dissected it with a fine-tooth comb. Put them in my headphones. I was listening in surround sound. I wish I could have like isolated them or something, been like left channel. But I'm sure that's what they were doing. But everyone's just assuming the person said, are you shitting me? Like he just lost all sense of professionalism at Gavin Sheets dropping that baseball. He's like, are you shitting me? Oh, wait, we're on the air. Whoa, I've been on the air for 40 years and I've never said, are you shitting me? But this is so bad that I said shitting. But there was no apology. You know that if it was, in fact, shitting, the, pearl clutchers at whatever network this is would have been like, you need to make an apology on the air. And then he'd have to come on the fucking air and he'd have to be like, Queef. Oh, that's not the right one. He'd have to come on the air and be like, I apologize. I was so flabbergasted at the terrible play of the Chicago White Sox that I cursed on the air just a few moments ago in the last inning when Gavin Sheets dropped that pop fly. I said shitting me. Oh, I said it again. I meant to say kidding, but I said shitting, and boy, oh boy, that's just what the White Sox are doing to me. Now, another team that's not doing so great either, and they're in turmoil. They have so much outside the field things happening. What with the team moving to Las Vegas, they don't really have a stadium right now. They're playing in like Sacramento. There's not really an identity for the Oakland Athletics at the moment. And Bill M. found this video as well. Check this out.
For me, if you're going up against the Houston Astros, you see some of the defensive changes there. Sky Bolt now in center field. Steven Piscotty over to left.
Oh, God. Oh. That's a tough time to be on the camera. Pause it here. You can just mute this clip. We don't need to hear anything that they're saying while we watch it. So those at home who are listening, the camera's just showing. I don't even know who that. Can you
Stephen Biscotti. Oh no, that was the guy coming out of bed. That's
Just like let it keep playing. Who cares? Let it run in a loop. We can take it off. We can take it off the screen. No, but I want to keep watching it. So, what number is he? What number?
I think it's 17. It's Sky Bolt, which is a great name.
Oh, hell yeah. Sky Bolt. I didn't know what number he was. But so Sky Bolt out there in outfield, and the camera's showing him and not talking about him. So I don't really know why they picked this angle while they're waiting for the next pitch. But there he is just standing there. And then all of a sudden he looks down and he goes, oh. He looks around for a second. Then he just pukes in the outfield, just lets one go. And I mean, I've seen pitchers do this when they go out on the mound and they have a bit of butterflies in their stomach because there's a lot of adrenaline pumping through you when you are a pitcher who is attempting to go out there and either keep the lead or perhaps save the game. So I've never seen an outfielder go out there and just yak. I've also heard stories of guys being hungover and such and going out there and yakking. That's fun. I wonder what the circumstance is for old Sky Bolt. Was it nerves? He's a young player. Is it the fact that he plays for the Oakland Athletics and things are gross there right now and he's just constantly nauseous at the state of the organization? I'm sure most of the fans in the crowd have puked at the sight of that team. What does it say here? You found an article about it?
Yeah, it was actually apparently from a couple of years ago.
Oh, come on. Bill M., you bastard. So it's not even Sky Bolt, who's a current player?
No. It's still Sky Bolt.
Oh, okay.
But no, he didn't give any explanation.
Oh, I thought this happened. See, that's the thing, folks. I'm not watching Oakland Athletics baseball. That's not, as a fan who's nebulous on teams and doesn't watch every game. I mean, I watch what games I choose, and I love all the teams. The most exciting games don't involve the Oakland Athletics, I'm afraid. I'm sorry. So,
all right, I lied. Actually, he did tell the San Francisco Chronicle that there was something suspect he had eaten for breakfast that might have been the culprit of his discomfort. Right about BP is when the stomach started churning, and then it was grindy, to say the least, Bolt told the paper.
Yeah, I mean, baseball players spend so much of their time playing baseball that you're going to watch. I mean, I'm surprised we haven't seen a guy just have straight up diarrhea and just be like, yeah, I shit my pants out there. And that brown stuff was human feces from my ass. I mean, they just get so dirty, they probably just do a slide, and then they're just going to think that's mud from the fucking base path. Meanwhile, it's mud from my base path. Today's Josh Potter Show is brought to us by DraftKings. TD, Tutty, taking it to the house, whatever you call a touchdown, they matter more at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. God, I do love anytime touchdown scorers. I try to throw a little sprinkle on one each game. And you know what else you can do is you can even throw a little bit money on the first touchdown scorer because that's even greater odds. Oh, my Lord. When you hit one of those, and maybe sometimes you double dip, when you get both of them, oh, there's no better feeling in the world. I got to tell you, it feels so great. I love it. And by the way, there's some other things going on DraftKings right now. I'm just looking at the odds. New England Patriots taking on the New York Jets Thursday Night Football. The Patriots are plus 225. I don't hate the Patriots as much as I used to, so I can win money from them and not feel sullied inside. So I might take that bet. Plus 225. The Patriots don't look terrible, and I feel like Aaron Rodgers is set to fail. But nevertheless, you can go to DraftKings right now and get ready to do a touchdown dance of your own because the anytime touchdown scorer is so much fun, and they've got things that you can bet on across the board, whether it be for football, whether it be for hockey, which is coming up. We love betting the over in hockey. It could be all sorts of things. Women's basketball, if you prefer. So right now, score big with DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code Josh Potter. That's code Josh Potter for new customers to get $250 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. And you'll get 1 month of NFL Plus Premium only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in New Hampshire, Oregon, and Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/ftball. NFL Plus Premium offer available only to new and former NFL Plus subscribers. Additional NFL Plus Premium terms at nfl.com/terms.
Anywho, speaking of puke, this definitely happened just yesterday. The Green Bay Packers were taking on the Indianapolis Colts, I do believe.
Yep.
And, oh boy, Malik Willis, his first true start. I mean, he started a couple times for the Tennessee Titans, but this is like he's got a new, he's turning a new page. It's trying to resurrect his career. And Jordan Love is going to be hurt for a couple of weeks, so this is a good time for Malik Willis to show out and show off. I mean, many people have the Packers picked as going deep in the playoffs. So this is a wonderful team surrounding him, and now he has to show out. And during a play, it was 3rd and long, I think, and Malik Willis opted to run as if it was a play that was called by Matt LaFleur, the head coach. And Matt LaFleur was like, I wouldn't call that fucking, because everyone was like, why did you call that play? I mean, that was crazy. And he's like, I didn't fucking call that play. That was Malik doing this. So he's explaining what happened here. Let's watch it.
I asked Malik why he didn't throw the ball on that 3rd down, and he told me that Josh threw up on the ball. I was like, that's the first time I've ever heard that. Matter of fact, the official came over to me, Sean came over to me and said, you know, we saw your center thrown up on the ball. Do you want us to take him out next time? I said, absolutely, please do that, because, I mean, you're talking about a critical situation. And it's 3rd down, and I've never had a throw with vomit on a football. So I don't know. I don't think Malik probably didn't appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, the difference, by the way, in how this is handled in sports and baseball, Sky Bolt pukes in the outfield, and they're like, yeah, you're playing the rest of that. No one worries about it. They're like, yeah, you got to stay out there. And you got an at-bat coming up in the next inning as well. But the center puking on the football, which is, I mean, the O-linemen, I've seen them puke on the sidelines. I've never seen a center puke on the football, and neither has Matt LaFleur. The man has been around the sport for his entire life, and he's never even seen such a thing. It is a rare occurrence. I mean, if I'm the center, I would keep that in mind. I would, if I'm going to puke, I'd puke next to the ball. I mean, I could move my head slightly over. It's kind of like one of those people in college. You run into these people that when they're drinking, they have no sense of themselves. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who pukes just willy-nilly. It's like you couldn't go to the bathroom and puke. You couldn't get over a sink in time. It just all of a sudden bubbles up, or a garbage or something. They pick the most inopportune places to puke. That'd be like if I was sitting here drinking and I just puked on my lap, like all over the equipment. I have no sense of like, maybe I should turn and do it on the floor. The center doesn't have any sort of sense of like, he's just got, I'm going to puke on the football, the most important thing on the field. The thing that Malik Willis, I have to pass this back. I have to hand this back to Malik Willis, who then has to throw it perhaps a great distance. I don't even know where the attempted throw is going to be, but it's all slimy from puke. And then the receiver is going to get splashed by the puke. Like, have some sense of etiquette at the very least if you're going to throw up. Do it on the side. Or like, the ref's like, do you want me to take him out of the game? Yeah. Yeah, I do. I don't want him puking on the football. Golly. And Malik's like, ugh. And then he just ran it and was like, this ball's got puke on it. It's got chunks and shit. Like, could you imagine? I wish we had video of the guy puking on the football. Does it play down there? I can't even tell. But like, I want to see what type of puke this was to a degree.
No, I think it's just a photo that kind of looks like he's puking.
Yeah, I don't think anyone really caught it, because oftentimes, maybe in the coming days, it'll come out. There will be a little more enhanced video of it. But oftentimes the broadcasts are from far away.
Well, we found some.
Oh, you got some
halfway decent video of it.
All right, let me see here. Get it nice and screenshot on that puke there. Let's see exactly what kind of contents we're dealing with. If perhaps it's chunky puke, is it clear? Is it just perhaps Gatorade? I want to see what we're dealing with. You know, these big guys, they eat like a spaghetti dinner before they fucking play football like idiots. Okay, go ahead. Pause it. Go back. We'll get it frozen on the puke. I want to see the splash come out. Oh, get it zoomed in there now. I want it zoomed in harder. Can you do it? It's playing. Is that it right there? I feel like that's it. Spraying out.
Yeah, it's a bit.
It's clear. It's just nonsense. It's just like
Gatorade puke.
It's maybe just some extra water, perhaps. So not that bad. It's not that kind of. The viscosity on it might have been a little lighter, perhaps, than your average stomach bile puke where you get that like slime. You know what I mean? Every now and then, the Roach gets heartburn, and he goes like, "Ugh." And then in the morning, I puke a little bit, just like a smidge. It's like a baby spitting up. But I get up and I go do it in the sink, and I look at this thing, and it's almost like a fucking, it's like an alien, really. It's like a slug that comes out of my body.
I kind of respect the puking as a defensive move from a center. Like what tackle is going to blow past you if you're blowing chunks?
I feel like the savages on the D-line don't care, and it's not a good defensive move because he's ruining the football. The thing that they have to, he's making it slimier and gross on a very beautiful day in Green Bay at Lambeau Field. There's no elements. There's no rain. There's no snow. It's a rare occurrence that the actual weather is glorious for Sunday football at Green Bay. And this guy's like, you know what? We don't have enough against us here, against this Colts team right now we're struggling against. I'm going to vomit on the football so I make it tougher for my quarterback who's got very little experience. I'm going to make sure that he has a harder time with it now. Oh, but speaking of puking, this thing made me puke. I'll tell you that. You know who Shannon Sharpe is, I'm sure. He has transcended sports. He used to just be a tight end for the Denver Broncos and Baltimore Ravens, and now he's become a media mogul in sports and beyond, because then he had Cat Williams on his podcast, you recall, and Cat Williams was like, "Don't you talk to me, Joe Rogan," or whatever the hell he said, and Shannon Sharpe was like, all he did was, Shannon Sharpe had a stack of cue cards this big. I don't think he looked at one of them, and Cat Williams just talked the whole time, and it's like 17 million views, and Shannon Sharpe's like, and so this guy, he's just one of these dudes. He's like, "Okay, Skip." I try to do an impression of him, but it makes me sound racist, but this is how he talks. I'll tell you, I wish I had an example for you of Shannon Sharpe talking, but he's like, "Okay, Skip, now we're going to do this." And so he's on his live. He's doing something on Instagram Live. He's screwing around. And I haven't been on Instagram Live in a while, but evidently when you hit end, it just doesn't turn off immediately. There's like another step to it or something, I suppose. And I'm not entirely sure why Shannon Sharpe didn't turn it off or what happened, but he left it on and there was lots of sex during it. And I got a transcript from Jason Brown. Jason Brown actually sent in a transcript, which I have here on my email. But can we watch the videos? It's just sounds. It's not nudity. Are we allowed to play this?
I think if we played that Jamaican lady in the airport, we're probably okay on this.
Yeah, but the Jamaican lady in the airport, though nude, wasn't doing it. You know what I'm saying? She just was trying. She was like, "Please fuck me." Now I could say that all up and down YouTube and they won't care. But I was curious. Oh, this is where it is. I saved it in the folder trying so I could have it, and my idiot brain was like looking in the regular folder still. Good job, dummy. Anyhow, I have the transcript if perhaps we can't watch it, if it gets taken off. I have, at the very beginning, the video immediately opens with what, and now Jason, this is not an official transcript. This is Jason Brown transcribing it on email at joshpottershow@gmail.com and sending it to me. So someone did this. Someone did their due diligence, watched it, and typed it out for me.
Do you want me
Jason
to play
Brown.
the video while you read it?
Let's see how accurate Jason Brown is, because then if the video is deemed inappropriate or what have you, we can take it out and we still have the glorious acting of myself reading the transcript to at least have on there. So the video immediately opens with what I would presume is Shannon kissing the female in question's orifice 2 times. So he's getting specific. I mean, we don't see any of this in this video. It's a phone laying on the bed. And he's already like knowing where Shannon Sharpe's lips are. At the 1 second mark, put that dick in. At the 2 second mark, let me put this dick in you. Now he interrupts himself. It should be noted that at this point in the video clip, the female in question is moaning in response. Okay, thank you. 7 seconds. Babe, there you go, right there. Audible moaning and rapid breathing can be heard. 14 through 19 second mark. There you go, baby. There you go, baby. There you go, baby. Now, I don't know. He didn't say which person was. If that was Shannon Sharpe, I did that pretty accurate. There you go, baby. There you go, baby. Oh, no, it must have been the girl because at 19 seconds, he goes, that's my Michelle. Unless, of course, the woman says that. I don't know. We can infer based on this statement that the female in question's name is Michelle. That is according to Jason Brown's transcript. At 24 seconds, Michelle says, give it. Rapid breathing and audible moaning can be heard continuing. At the 31-second mark, loud grunting. I think Shannon Sharpe's getting ready to, come. Some have called this portion the grunt heard around the world. This Roachly reporter is reminded of Danny Glover's portrayal of Albert in The Color Purple, who grunted similarly when taking advantage of Celie, portrayed by Whoopi Goldberg. Oh, my Lord, he's comparing it to The Color Purple rape scene? That is terrible. We'll have to listen and find out. At the 45-second mark, the climax may have occurred during this time frame between 45 and 58 seconds. The climax may have been heard. Now, again, if I have to take this off of YouTube, you're not going to be able to watch it out there, folks, and do an audit on this, so you'll have to watch the video for yourselves. And I encourage you to do that. And then at the 1 minute and 1 second mark, it would appear at this point in the clip, both partners have finished and are catching their breath. 1 minute and 10 second mark, audible kissing. And then it ends at the 1:16 mark. This page contains a clip that precedes the former clip. So I want to find this clip. Does it not have this clip?
No, I'm pretty sure we have the clip with the noises.
All right, let's watch it. I want to see the time codes.
There's also just actively people commenting on it.
They're like, Unc, you left your screen on, Unc. That's what they call them. I mean, I'm not making that. That's, please, if you're unaware with the culture, Was that the There You Go Babies? What is she saying? That's not in the transcript, Jason Brown. This must be before. I feel like I'm in a hotel right now.
People in the comments are just like, stop.
Turn it off, Unc. You wish it's one of those times where if you just like, if this was FaceTime, you know that someone would be on the other end like, dude, turn it off, dude. Yo, you're still on. He's getting text. You hear his phone like buzzing. It's like, zzz, 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 zzz. Listen to it. It's blowing up. Everyone in the world is trying to get his attention. So, I mean, I guess there's two clips out there because he said that one precedes the clip that he was transcribing. So I don't know if that one got taken, if the one where the orgasms, I mean, that one seemed pretty orgasmic in itself. I don't know.
We only had one audio clip that made it on the email.
Exactly. No, I know. I mean, that's what I was saying. So I think because he was saying in the email, the clip that I've provided precedes that one. So I don't know. I guess we couldn't do an audit after all, but hopefully I think that'll make the cut. We'll find out. Anywho, folks, let's get into some news stories, shall we? Last week we neglected the news, and I felt bad about it, so let's get into it. We got some great stuff stacking up. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I missed one. I'll save that clip for next time because I did miss one. That one's just fun. We'll keep that one for... That's not dated or anything like that. But, oh boy. Isaac in Bloomington. First-time Roach reporter. Oh my Lord. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
I don't care about that. Not a fig.
Limp Bizkit.
Murder.
Just playing all the sounds for you. We'll get a dedicated first-time Roach reporter sound next time. I promise. I have them before, and I keep forgetting to give it to him. Anywho, he sent this bad boy in. First-time Roach reporter. Can't believe it. This involves body cam footage and everything like that. Do I have to click on this to look at the article here?
No, you should have the text from the article there.
Oh, there it is. Okay, perfect. And it happened right in my neck of the woods here out in Irvine, California. I can't believe it's so close. I just was at the Brea Improv, and I'm hoping come the wintertime I'll be at the Irvine Improv, right in the neck of the woods of this. And so, anywho, we have body cam footage of this too, evidently. A man in a wheelchair fatally stabbed after former caregiver crashes into his Irvine home, police say. Isn't that something? What a headline that is. So first of all, there's a quadriplegic man. That means all of the limbs, right?
Yes.
That's all four, right?
All four of the limbs.
Why don't they give you the fifth limb, meaning your penis? That should count as a limb. Out of all the limbs that I lost, that was the one that would really stick to me. I don't care if I don't have my fucking arms or my legs. My penis, though? Come on, man. I can't even get blown. This blows. Anyhow, he's living in his house, or whatever, and his former caregiver crashes through his house. Imagine if you walked away from it, too. That is some irony. Here this poor guy is in his wheelchair. This guy's driving into shit, and he just willy-nilly walking around afterwards. Come on. Is there no justice? So the man who uses a wheelchair was killed early Monday when his former caretaker crashed into his Irvine home and stabbed him to death.
Murder.
Police later fatally shot the suspect. Oh, boy. Imagine if that was the wheelchair guy. They're like, freeze! I'm sorry, frozen. The investigation focused on two separate locations. The first scene was on Whistling Swan near Westwood, where a minivan crashed into a home around 2:15 a.m. Responding officers found the victim dead with an apparent stab wound. He was identified as John Alexander Bash III, 38 years old. Eyewitness News spoke with a man who said the victim was his brother-in-law. My brother-in-law was an amazing person. He had an accident multiple years ago, and he had a spinal injury, and he was confined to a wheelchair for the rest of his life. In this situation, he's a defenseless victim, and he just had no chance to defend himself. Yeah, that's awful when you're just like, talk about being in a prison. You're just sitting there, and a guy's coming at you with a knife, and you're like, I don't know what you do. What do you blow in the straw? I don't know. What the fuck? I would be frantically blowing in that straw or whatever, or blinking or whatever it is that makes the wheelchairs move these days. I don't know. Because, I think they've gotten past straws, and now it's just like you can Professor X it, right? Or you just like kind of, it's through your neurons. I don't fucking know. Anyway, this guy couldn't get away, evidently. The second incident then occurred a short distance away about an hour later at 3:25 a.m. Irvine officers contacted near some Stone Creek South and West Yale Loop. I don't know where the fuck these places are, and I live here. Police said Schindel raised a weapon at officers, which led them to open fire. The man was then struck and taken to the hospital where he later died. Authorities said a knife was recovered at the scene. No officers were injured. Well, they don't tell the relationship other than this was the man's former caregiver. Now, I've seen some of these caregivers out there, and sometimes these people, you think they have hearts of gold. These are angels. Sometimes they're not. They're kind of shady. Like there's a guy that comes here to the Comedy Store, and I often joke. These people I've gotten to know now. But I was joking at first. I was like, hey man, how do we know this guy really wants to do comedy? You're telling us he wants to do comedy. What if you're just like holding this guy rants? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're like, no, he really wants to perform and get up there. What if this guy's like, help me, this guy's grifting off me? You know what I mean? Like, I have no idea. There's nothing to tell me that. So sometimes I feel like these caregivers, their hearts aren't in the right place. Sure, I was joking about that guy, but that's not something that's out of the realm of possibility, is it?
A Munchausen by proxy, but as a performer, I
couldn't think of the name of that. Yes, but like it's just like in this case that guy was performing, but this guy is nonverbal. He's confined to a wheelchair. I don't exactly know what the situation. I don't know what you properly call his affliction, but I'm just saying. I don't know what the hell this guy's saying. And then this guy would be like, he says he's a big fan, and you're like, did he though, or are you a big fan? I have no idea. I'm trusting this man. And this guy's just sitting there in a prison of his own body, and he can't do anything about it if this guy's just like using him for access. You know what I'm saying? I was skeptical. That's all. I found out I was wrong, but I was skeptical, okay, of this caregiver man. He says that, it's all of a sudden it's critical. You're like, well, Jesus. Come on, dude. Is that him or you talking? So I don't know. I think some of the caregiver-caregivee relationships aren't on the up and up is all I'm saying. And sometimes, I mean, they are kind of like marriages. You spend your entire life with this person. You spend every waking sort of moment as a caregiver, I'd imagine, unless it's like shifts or something. I don't know. But I'd imagine you get pretty close to a person if you are their caregiver, you know, and things could become tumultuous. Needless to say, I guess it got so tumultuous in this case where this man not only had to crash his car through the house, but had to then stab this person as if their actual existence wasn't already a prison enough. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, now I have to kill him? I mean, come on. I bet part of him, everyone's like, he couldn't get away. Maybe he could and he just didn't want to, you know? You ever think of that? Anyhow, let's watch the body cam footage.
We have footage of both incidents. Do you just want the police body cam footage, or there's footage?
Oh, I want to see him crashing that fucking house. I mean, that's kind of it's like, yeah, he has a minivan, of course.
He like crashes into the garage door, but then it seems like he just breaks in the front door.
I'm sure he had a key. He's the caregiver, after all. That doesn't look very quadriplegic to me. He was moving around quite a bit there. Did you see that? What the fuck was that?
No,
he's moving.
Yeah.
It's a miracle. It's a miracle. Right before he dies, he finds out, I can move my arms. No, don't stab me.
Shit.
Okay, and then what? What's the second one?
And then we get up to the body cam footage.
Oh, boy. And then this is the police coming. We got a lunatic that just stabbed the paraplegic guy.
All the pet check, Stone Creek.
Head check? Is that a pedophile one?
Couldn't tell you.
They're all pedophile checks. He's just... Oh, I love it. Body cam footage is pretty great.
Yeah. What's your name?
I know what he said. Well, go back a second.
Yeah.
Can you rewind? Pause it. Before that inaudible part.
No?
It said inaudible as the cop is pause it. As the cop is approaching the man, it says inaudible, but I know exactly what he says. He goes, something motherfucker. Calls the cop a motherfucker.
Yeah.
What's it to you, motherfucker, or something like that.
Absolutely. It's I think it's just local.
And they're like, inaudible. Why can't they just
couldn't hear it.
blur it out or something? Or like fucking pearl clutching prudes. Go ahead.
What's your name? What's your name? What's my name? Yeah. Hey, put the fucking knife down.
Oh boy. Pause it. This is like a fucking.
Put the fucking knife down right
Oh
now.
my God.
Put
Pause it. For Christ's sake, before he shoots him. I'm like, holy hell. The guy just takes out a knife. Now, when a guy takes out a knife, is this a green, like, okay, you're going to get up my ass for talking about cops and all this other shit, but is it the green light where the cop goes, because that guy's so far away that the knife isn't threatening seemingly yet. You know what I mean? Like, he's a borderline across the street with a knife. You know what I mean? So is that just green light to pull your gun and be like, oh, I'm going to fucking shoot? You know what I mean? Or at least pull the gun out. That's a green light to at least get the gun out. Probably.
Yeah, I think if you see that somebody has a weapon and you're, as an officer, you're allowed to be like,
whoop, let's go. Sometimes because we've seen the guy that got convicted for killing that poor woman in her home that was like having a mental breakdown. She picked up a hot pot of water and he was like, put the pot of water down. You know what I mean? Like, he pulled his gun for the pot of water. So this guy's got this guy's got a knife and he's calling him a motherfucker. So, okay, he's got the gun out, and body cam footage with the gun out is wild. I mean, I play video games all the time. Why is this making me my hair on my neck stand up? This is crazy. Okay, go ahead. Let's see if we might not even be able to play this.
Put the fucking knife down right now.
Put the fucking knife down. Is that how a cop should talk?
Right now.
I said it was me. People have been
Put the fucking knife down right now. Put the fucking knife down.
Oh, he's walking
Put
closer.
the knife down right now. Put it down right now. Put the fucking knife down right now. I'm not fucking playing, bro.
That motherfucker.
Put it down.
No, they had me being chased around like I'm a child predator. Fuck you.
Oh, that's how you know he's a predator.
Put the fucking knife down.
Oh, it was a pedophile check.
Put the knife down right now. I'm not telling you again.
Okay, pause it. He is he has come out now. He is out in the street and the cop has backed up many, many times. And this guy's like, they're following me around like I'm a child predator. I mean, maybe you are, pal. You're standing on the road with a knife. You're not making sense. I mean, add that to the column. You just murdered a paralyzed guy. Go ahead.
Put the knife down. Put it down. Put the knife down.
No.
Put the knife down right now. Put the knife down. Put the knife down.
Oh my God, we watched him get. That's crazy. Why can't he shoot him in the leg or something? I guess he's not thinking about it. He's just reacting. But I mean, that guy walked all the way across the street. In my head, I'm like, if I'm going to have to shoot this guy, I guess I'm going to shoot him in the leg or like aim for his leg. It'd be wild if you hit him in that perfect part of his spine and then all of a sudden. Now he's in that hell as well. Well, this story, I've actually delayed discussing it. And I forget who sent this bad boy in, but it was somebody. Oh, my Lord. This story...
Daniel Bowers
sent this bad boy in. A Wells Fargo worker was found dead at her desk 4 days after clocking in. I mean, I'm sure you've seen this one. It's one of the darker stories that have happened in recent memory. And it's interesting that it made news because I kind of assumed this happened all of the time. I kind of assumed people who, I mean, there are people who are in the peripheries of our lives that sometimes a week will go by and you're like, you know, I haven't seen Jeff in a while. And then you're like, all right, well, I guess maybe Jeff's going to a different store or something. You know, I don't know. I wonder oftentimes how many days I would go dead in my apartment before someone, I mean, at least like I mentioned before on this podcast, Monday would come and Alex would be like, are you coming? That would be like about, I think that's, but say I die on a Tuesday, we're talking a week here before somebody's like, even if I miss my spots, people would be like, he missed his spot. I guess he got sick or something. Well, officials in Arizona are investigating the death of a Wells Fargo employee who scanned into her office on a Friday morning and was found dead at her desk 4 days later. According to local authorities, 60-year-old Denise Prudhomme entered her Wells Fargo office building located at the 1100 block of West Washington Street in Old Tempe, Arizona on August 17th, at 7 a.m. on August 16th. On the 20th of August, building security called officials regarding a subject down. AZ Family reports, speaking anonymously to 12 News, an employee said that the colleague, while walking around the building, found Prudhomme dead at her cubicle. Upon arrival at the scene, officials pronounced Prudhomme dead at 4:55 p.m., local outlets report, citing Tempe police. I feel like they didn't want to say, I mean, maybe it gets into more detail as I go on here, but I feel like they didn't want to say, like, we only clean this place every 4 days. The cleaning crew comes like once a week. All right. They're lucky that this wasn't on a fucking Thursday because she would have been there all weekend. Boy, oh boy. We would have noticed when he came in. It's coming from Denise's office. Another employee told the outlet, it's really heartbreaking, and I'm thinking, what if I were just sitting there? No one would check on me? I mean, yeah, that's an office, bro. That's oftentimes the benefit of an office. I used to work out of a sound studio, making commercials at the radio station. And all I had to do to keep people from coming into my office or even knocking on the door of this production room was turn the little on-air light on and have it be blinking. And people would be like, oh, I'll come back when it's off. I'd leave that thing on for hours and sleep for hours. I would just lay dead rolling nothing, just like a CD. I'd sleep, my back to the door. No one would have any idea. And that was the benefit of it. If you have an office where you can go inside and shut the door and be Don Draper and drink and just lay on the floor or on the couch, oh, you've made it. It's the American dream. At the same time, you have to accept that you might die in that office and no one will come in to find you for days upon days. Anywho, to hear she's been sitting at the desk like that would make me feel sick, and nobody did anything. That's how she spent her last moments. Meanwhile, in a statement to 12 News, the Wells Fargo spokesperson said, we are deeply saddened by the tragic loss of our colleague at our Tempe office. Our thoughts and prayers are with their family and loved ones during this difficult time. Counselors through our employee assistance consulting service are available to support our employees. We are fully cooperating with the Tempe Police Department in their investigation and will direct all further questions to them. Yeah, make sure you don't field any more questions about what kind of soulless office you run where nobody talks to anybody and people don't even, maybe it's even like a consolidation thing and it's like, oh, Denise's office, that's all the way over there on that other side. There's no other people that work over there anymore. You know, I used to work in an office where the entire like other side of it was empty. It was very eerie. I actually had sex in there. That's how empty it was. No one had any idea. According to police, the initial investigation did not point to any foul play. Yeah, I wonder how she died, if it was just a heart attack or what, you know? It's very Mad Men. The old woman in Mad Men, when she passed away, the old secretary. I cannot remember her name from the show, but...
I don't know either, but I got you. But yeah, it feels like an aneurysm.
Edna, maybe. I don't fucking remember. But she just was like at her desk and someone was like, "Are you?" And they like shook her and then she just fell forward.
Ida.
And then they go, what should we say? President, secretary of executives. And then Bert says, "She was born in a barn and she died on the 32nd floor of a skyscraper. She's an astronaut." Hell of a moment. Thank you. Anywho, let's skip ahead here. Can wrap up with this story that I loved. Oh my God. Jefferson Alley sent this one in. It's about a 28-year-old Russian mechanic. This is a sex bet that a man wins. But at what cost? And in Russia, you know they're doing some wild shit. So this 28-year-old Russian mechanic made a $4,300 bet. Well, I wonder if that's rubies or ruples or whatever the fuck they have over there. Either way, it's, according to this article, in American money, $4,300. And he made this bet with two women that he could last 12 hours in a sex marathon with both of them. Now that's something. I'd love to take that bet. Say you don't last the 12 hours. Oh, whoops, I guess I got to give them money. And then you had sex with both of them still. Like, I don't think they understand the ruse that was put on by this man, these two women. They're like, "Oh, this guy can't have sex for 12 hours. We'll prove it." What kind of bet is that? Wild. I mean, the best bet of all time. But unfortunately for this man, he died of a heart attack soon after he was declared the victor. So he did it. He won the 12 hours. He's like, I fucked you for 12 hours. And they're like, "Congratulations. Here's your money. You got a threesome and $4,300. This is what a day you're having." And then he's just like, and he died. Unbelievable.
Oh, shit.
What a terrible. I mean, that's the way to go out, though. Because look at this. I'm reading an article about the man. They don't have his name in the article. I would be disappointed if
they have it in a different one. Sergei Tuganov.
Sergei Tuganov, you're a hero in my eyes. And you went out the way that every man dreams of going out. I mean, you just had a threesome, you won $4,300, and then you died. That's a great time to do it. What, do you want to be alone and have a heart attack? I know this probably caused your death, but I mean, again, if you're Tua Tagovailoa, are you retiring from football this early in your prime? It's the same kind of thing, you know what I mean? How do you want to go out? He was 28, he was in his prime, died after a 12-hour sex marathon threesome where he won $4,300. That's pretty great, you know? Medics said he most likely died from the quantity of Viagra he ingested. Oh, see, you were cheating. Oh, you're 28. You need Viagra to fuck for 12 hours? That's disgusting. I don't like that he was doing performance-enhancing drugs. It taints it a little bit. And that's the problem. He had the Viagra and it killed him. That's how Scott Weiland died, Viagra and Coke. It doesn't say anything about Coke here yet. The mechanic swallowed dozens of Viagra pills in the course of the session to ensure he would win. I mean, that's ridiculous. You're 28 years old. What's wrong with your penis? Come on. Use that natural God-given talent. If anything, maybe 2 Viagras. Do you need dozens of Viagras? What the fuck, dude?
I'd be more worried about friction over 12 hours than anything. Like,
well, I'm sure they go, if, you know, it gets a little dry down there, they go, let's use our mouths a little bit. And then you do mouth for 2 hours or something. And there's 2 of them, don't forget. So they're splitting the shift. They're only doing 6 hours a piece. You divide that per hole. That's really just like an hour per hole at the end of the day, if you think about it. So the mechanic swallowed those dozens of Viagra pills there in the course of the session to ensure he would win. However, minutes after the 12 hours were up and he was declared the victor, the 28-year-old had a heart attack, collapsed, and died. One of the women, who only gave her name as Alina, a really cool woman, for the record, told the Moscow police, "We called emergency services, but it was too late. There was nothing they can do." Medics said he most likely died from the quantity of Viagra he ingested. Well, you don't say. I mean, just have 2 Viagras. It'll work. Remember how they say, like, if it lasts more than 4 hours, call your doctor. You hope it lasts 4 hours. This guy, if he could have had 3, that's 12 hours right there. You don't need dozens. Do math. Come on. And that's a lesson in drugs, kids. You don't need to go overboard. You don't need to do them all at once. You know what I'm saying? Oh, boy, folks. Another one in the books, the solo episode. Next week, we are going to have Maddie Smith on the program, and I couldn't be more excited. It'll be her first time on the show. And right here at the Comedy Store, I cannot wait. Then beyond that, I've got some good ones planned. Greg Fitzsimmons is coming on in October. Get ready for that. Very exciting stuff in the forecast. Make sure, by the way, that you rate, review, and subscribe all of the places that you listen, whether it's audio or here on YouTube. If you're watching, make sure you leave a comment for the old algorithm. Is it called the algorithm because of Al Gore?
No.
Okay, just checking. I saw that and I go, he did invent the internet. Anyhow, joshpottershow@gmail.com is where you can send in all of your music, the way Griff Parker has sent this in. You can send in your articles. Luke Rutz, we're going to have like a Luke Rutz episode coming up. He's sent in so many things. Thanks to Jefferson Nally for sending that in. Thanks to our first-time Roach reporter. Oh, boy. Daniel Bowers also sent something in, but the first-time Roach reporter, thank you to Isaac in Bloomington, Indiana, for sending that bad boy in. Bill M., you're the man as well. Everybody who sent things in, I love you. And we'll see you next time right here on the old Josh Potter Show.
Coming to 11 direct with the Roach. We shotgun the beers, I got time for a toast. It's the only place I get my sports like for real. Son, he taught us nobody's more sus than Russell Wilson.
Here's the deal, son, won't find us in Walmart. Josh Potter, keep it frank, kinda like a ballpark. It wasn't nothing talking all that jism. Turns out there's a lot of semen terrorism.
Now it's time we hit him, bringing Votto to the plate. Roachy, your wards with Chase O'Donnell the Great. Let me stop for a second, cause it's Ask Marty time. Cause it's idiocy, you know I cannot abide.
Not a fan of these guys, gonna damage the rise. Worse than the host known as the Roach. Leave an idiot woman standing on the side, or looking like she just tripped into a moat.
I'ma kill this Henny beat like murder. Been in more studios than most have ever heard of. Pleased to be listening, hit that like and subscribe. So many Bills hats got the mafia vibe.
A lot to describe like a Roach reporter. Teacher on OF, don't report her. Trying to live life with my mannequin wife and my mannequin kids if that's my mannequin right.
Been a fan of this guy since a Roach Motel. Couple hundred weeks in, still funny as hell. From the tit cups to back sis and blind eyes, Potter has one of the best shows of all time.
Now watch this drive. Pop a couple tall cans with the Roach King and caught the vibe. Ready to pour more, scurry out the floorboards, hit like, comment, and subscribe.